So what's the problem?
Citizenship. I mean, come on. What does it mean anyway?
I think citizenship is realizing that your actions are going to affect everyone around you and trying to, help everyone out and make a positive mark on your community.
I think it's about being responsible. It's just making sure that, your community is working the way you want it to work.
I think I'm probably partially a good citizen. And that sounds sort of strange, but I think all of us have had sort of conflicting motivations for things. Like I'm in Key Club, and I've done a lot of stuff with that, and I'll do projects.
What's Key Club?
It's a service organization here at our school, and we go out and do different projects, like some with Harvest Hope, with a lot of different groups. And I'll go out and do these things, and afterwards I'll be really glad I did them, and be like, yeah, well, that made me feel really good. But I can't say that I didn't do them sort of initially because it looks good on your college transcript,
Regardless of your starting conditions, I think if you do the right thing and you begin to do it because, then, yeah, you are being a good citizen.
We take a trip every summer down to Charleston, South Carolina, and we go down there and help rebuild houses for the entire week. The houses that we work on are in the worst condition you could ever imagine. The floors are underwater. They just creep down into creeks that run directly into the house. Yeah, it's unreal. And we go down there and we work for the entire week, nonstop. And the kids at these houses, are so grateful to have at least a floor that they can stand on that's solid now without getting their socks wet. Every time we go back for Christmas, and we always bring gifts back to these kids. And, they're all, they're excited and happy to see us and everything. And when we go back the next summer, it's, what'd you guys do, since the last time we were here, and the first words that come out of their mouth is, we were waiting for you. And it's so emotional, the fact that you can go down there, but going down there and doing good deeds for others and being a good citizen and being a role model for these kids, and when somebody says something like that to you, it gives you a feeling inside. It makes you want to go back more and more and more.
Can you describe that feeling?
It's unreal.
Priceless.
It's just unreal?
Yes, it's priceless.
Priceless.
He said that to me, and I just started crying.
Did you?
Immediately.
I would too.
Was,
I
couldn't control myself.
Duncan's a good citizen.
We could go buy whatever we wanted, I wanted a drum set, and he wanted some car speakers and stuff like that, Your heart just beats really fast, and you're like, oh my God, just to see this much money just sitting there.
I wasn't sure what I had till I got there, and once I pulled the flaps of the box away, I looked down, there was several straps of $20 bills. It totaled about $10,000.
I was really surprised, nervous, didn't know what to do, confused, scared, excited, mixed emotions.
Overnight, Matt and Chris became heroes. Newspapers told the story of their startling discovery and their decision to turn in the money.
I would have kept it.
Finders keepers,
so you
waivers.
All I know is that if it was me, I would have kept it.
In my mind, I know that, what I did was right. No matter what everybody else says, just what I did was right.
How many lies do you get to tell before you're a liar?
One.
One?
The moment you tell a lie, it's not okay to lie. It's not okay. Yes, everybody here is a liar. It's not okay to lie.
Humans lie.
I'm a liar, you're a liar, she's a liar, we're all liars.
There's no such thing as not expressible.
I think there's a certain point how much you can lie, and depending on how big your lies are. If they're little things like, oh, I was 10 minutes late, and you give a little excuse why you're late, and it's a lie, then that's different. But if you're gonna go say, well, I was at this person's house when you're really out partying in some club and getting drunk,
and eventually it's going to come back to you because somebody's going to say, oh, you said this to me, but you said something else to another person. And it's not worth losing the respect of your friends. And if you lie to your parents, it's not worth losing their trust just to get out of a situation that you might get in trouble for.
How does it make you feel when people lie to you?
If a close person lies to me, it's like, if you call yourself my friend, why do you have to lie to me then? If you think I'm a good friend, then just be a good friend enough to tell me the truth.
In South Central, there's always a constant battle between the neighborhoods. There's always a struggle for turf. Who owns the school? Is it the black gang members? Is it the Hispanic members? I guess I was influenced by gangs as little as maybe 4th grade. I knew that the gangs were around, and when your cousins are in gangs, when your friends are in gangs, you tend to also join the gang to feel part of something, part of a group. After a while, when I started doing good in school and I started moving up to the higher classes, I started getting a new group of friends who were they were different from the gang members, and at first it was hard for me to relate to them. They were interested in joining Key Club or joining academic decathlon. That was their passion, while I was interested in being part of a gang and gaining turf. The intention was never really to split from the gang. It was more I was going to get an education but still remain in the gang. But after a while, I decided that I couldn't do both. I couldn't go to school and I couldn't be part of a gang and still be successful. When you're in a gang, you kind of have advisors. My advisor was Shady, and he was required to keep track of me and what I was doing. And if I had decided to just move out, he would know. He would know where my family lives, where I would be. And so there was no way that I could get out without me having any trouble, because he would know and he would know where to find me. I went in, I talked to Shady, and I had to show him my report card, and he looked at me and he said, "That's very good." And he looked at me and he tried to understand me. Because I remember him looking at me and smiling, looking at the report card, and then looking back and forth at me and at the report card and trying to see if it was possible in a weird way. But he must have seen what happens to so many kids after so many years in a gang. There's no future in being a gang member, because either one, you would be dead, two, you would be in jail, or three, you would be selling drugs. I guess he finally realized that it was my report card and that it was me getting the good grades. That's how I finally got out.
In spring of his senior year, Arturo's courageous journey reached a milestone when his college acceptance arrived in the mail.
I remember Mikkel calling me at work and telling me that I had gotten accepted, and I couldn't believe it, and I told him the same. I will not believe it till I'm actually sitting in class and actually listening to the professor lecture. Then I'll believe it.
How'd you get to be great at sports? Were you just born that way?
No. I mean, I was born with athletic talent, but it takes a lot more than just talent to become a good athlete.
Oh yeah, like what?
Well, you know, hard work, focus, discipline, drive, all those things you hear athletes say in interviews.
Well, if you know how to develop your athletic skills, why can't you do the same in academics?
Well, I've tried. It's just not the same. I don't have the same abilities at school as I do at sports. Let me give you an example. Just last week, we had a history test. I read the chapter and reviewed my notes, and I still got a C-. I just can't seem to break out of it.
Keith, can you honestly say that you did your very best to prepare for that test?
I think I gave it a reasonable effort.
But was it the best you could do?
Well, I don't know if it was my best, but I thought it should have been enough to at least earn me a B.
You know, Keith, I'm getting a sense that there are a lot of possible reasons why you're not doing better in school. But the biggest problem just may be the way you see it.
But the discipline thing, it doesn't only go for like far away in the future. It's like right now. Because like say, because if I want to graduate, I learned my lesson. I learned my lesson from freshman year when I was like, oh, I'm not going to class, I'm not going to class. And now I'm paying for it.
Did you consider yourself to be undisciplined during that freshman year?
Oh, yeah.
And how? In what ways are people undisciplined? What ways were you
I
undisciplined?
did not go to class. I would look my teacher in the face, hi. And I had her that band. Oh my gosh. I wasn't doing my homework. I was a real procrastinator, so I would put my homework off. But 10th grade year, I was feeling jealous because everybody like, guess what? I'm graduating next year, and you can't join in that conversation now. You the quiet one in the back. You like, okay.
I think everybody's got to be willing to make that first step towards your goal. She never thought that she could do it, but once she took that first step, you know, she found out.
What is that first step? What do you think it is, Aaron?
When you look in yourself and you find that motivation, that self-motivation, just to say, you know what, I know what this is, what I'm in right now. Let me try something new.
Meet Annie Henning. For Annie, getting out of bed is just the beginning of a long day of struggling with the kinds of things most of us take for granted.
I used to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. From 4 to 5, I would take a shower. From 5 to 6, I would get dressed, and then from 6 to 7, I'd catch the bus. That took drive.
Annie was born with cerebral palsy, a disabling disease that has put her in a wheelchair and interferes with her speech and muscle control. Despite her disability, Annie leads an active and challenging life, and like most kids has a healthy competitive streak, even when her biggest opponent is sometimes herself.
But I think that's one of the biggest challenges I have to learn is stay at peace with my body and learn to accept the disability for what it is and know that it's not my body's fault. Then that way you won't deprive yourself of wonderful life opportunities that some may only come around once in your lifetime. Life's too short and you'll miss the wonderful outcome and you'll miss what miraculous things your mind, body, and spirit could have been as one if you just would have stuck with it.
Let me give you a hypothetical situation. I want to see what you're going to do with this one, okay? Get your comments on this. Situation goes like this. You've been looking for a job for a long time. And finally you got a job at a local record store. And you got the hours that you wanted. You got more money than you were even thinking you were going to get. You're on the job, and part of your job, by the way, is unloading the truck that keeps coming in and delivering things and adding records and CDs and all the stuff you sell in the store. Truck backs up and your job is to unload the boxes. It seems like every time you unload boxes, you get 20 boxes. And when you're unloading the 20 boxes, your supervisor comes over to you and says, I want you to take 15 of those boxes and I want you to put them over there. And I want you to take the other 5 boxes and I want you to put them in the back of my car. Just keep your mouth shut about this whole thing, okay? Keep your mouth shut and put the boxes over there, and I'll tell you what, there's a little bit of money in it for you, okay? It's money. It's money. It's an opportunity. It's
dirty money, though. It's goody-goody, and, you know, knowing that you'll be suffering some consequences if you get caught. Like, you know, there's certain things that you wouldn't mind doing, but as far as the consequences go for that action, you know, you have to think about that.
There is no way you're going to get caught.
If there was absolutely no way, I'd do it. Honestly.
You'd have to ask them.
Ooh, you'd break.
How much money?
I think everybody here would break right from the start. I don't think it was, oh my god, he's stealing boxes. So he's stealing boxes. Welcome to the real world.
Yeah.
How many take the money and go?
Up the ante, like give me, I don't
Let me
know,
take a
extra
look. Okay,
records or
wait.
something.
How many in here, just raise your hands here, how many would, theoretically, if there was absolutely no way of getting caught on this one, how many would do exactly what the guy said and put the boxes in that car?
And take the money.
And not get caught. Take the money.
And you don't get caught?
You don't get caught.
There's absolutely no way.
You're gonna give me like extra records or something.
How many
She's like thinking of it.
You also gave me earlier how you want to be remembered. How's it fit with how you want to be remembered?
Respected, stealing things that don't go
Busted.
together.
Busted.
See, that's the obstacle, man.
Oh, wait.
That's one of those hurdles you gotta jump over.
Now, defend yourself. Tell me. Okay, Mike, let's go back over to you. Okay?
All right.
You were the guy that told us that, no, remember you wanted honesty, you wanted integrity, you wanted respect, you wanted all these things, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And now, and you love the idea of character. You know what good character is? You make the right choice, even when nobody's watching.
All right.
So what are you thinking now, Mike?
I'm not really sure. Like, also, like, you know, there's also different definitions to people of good character, but like, as far as, yeah, that is scheming, you know, but at the same time, you know, you gotta think about it in the long run. Like, that's a job that you're gonna be doing for like a little while. That's not like one of those big dreams or like ambitious, you know, hardworking, you know, like, I don't know. Again.
You're stumbling.
Yeah.
Why are you stumbling?
Cause like, that action contradicts like what I said earlier, but I don't know.
What's going on in your head right now?
Trying to think of a way to
Gets you to think, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I hope you are thinking.
Yeah.
Spontaneous decisions often reveal a lot about you because that was just on the spot and immediately I was like, listen, I'd take the money. So I feel like I have to
look in the mirror, look a little deeper, and not find myself, but make it so that I won't want to take that money just so quickly. Be like, hey, I'm not gonna get caught. Why not? But
good for you. Yeah, life's filled with a whole boatload of final exams, aren't they? But I'm not so interested in the final exam. You know what I'm interested in? How you gonna do on the pop quizzes?
That's
And the pop quizzes, the pop quizzes. The pop quizzes are the moments when I'm looking for every one of you to say, what am I going to do? Is it the right thing to do? Should I do it? And is this who I am? Is this who I want to be? So don't forget that.
For more information on In Search of Character, contact your video distributor or visit our website at www.goodcharacter.com. You can also call us toll-free at 1-800-359-KIDS.